Hello everyone, welcome to GED. Today we have some beautiful Cantalope and we're talking about gaming as a sport. So guys, this fruit smells and looks delicious. It's some cantaloupe, orange variety. I know there's the green variety too, guys, but oh man, we're trying to be a little bit healthier here on the show, for the health of it. And I did not steal that. So, gaming as a sport. So, guys, what do you think? What do you think about gaming as a sport? Do you think gaming really can be classified as a sport? I mean, 20 years ago, nobody would have ever believed that people, and focus, nobody would have believed that gaming could have became a sport, an actual 9-to-5 job, I guess you could say. It just was out of the realm of possibilities, because back then, like moms and dads were like, oh, that's a joke, that's not gonna happen, nothing like that will ever happen in the world. You can't game all day and get paid for it. But hey, look at now. People are getting paid lots of money to play games as a sport, quote unquote. Some games that are currently classified as esports, I don't really think, in my personal opinion, I really don't think certain games should be classified as esports. Personal opinion here. Stuff like mobile games, where you're literally just spending tens of thousands of hours and money into a game to be successful. You're buying more products to boost your own skill level. That kind of doesn't really make sense to me, that people would classify it as an esport. But hey, I mean, money's there. There's prize pools everywhere. And the thing about gaming as an esport is that, I don't know, if there's enough popularity in anything, just about, if there was enough popularity in Pac-Man, it would become an esport. It's kind of a weird age we live in, where pretty much whatever people follow the most becomes an esport. And games that try to model themselves after titles like that, they fail, because they're not really the title that people are following. And it's just, don't try to model your game as an esport. Just let your game become an esport due to popularity reasons. I mean, case in point, Dota. Dota was never really intended to be an esport. I mean, it started off as a mod and grew out of proportion over, 25 years? Don't quote me on that, just find the research yourself. But it slowly grew and was developed, and, different versions and iterations of Dota. Till eventually, it just paid off, and it paid off big, because hey, I mean, look at it now. And then League of Legends, modeled after Dota. Counter-Strike was an esport for quite a long time. It's probably one of the original esports, apart from like Quake and Doom. More so Quake. And then all of a sudden you got different FPS shooters like Overwatch and I don't know, I can't even think of other names right now, but you get the point. Like lots of games just kind of spawn clones or different iterations of themselves, and where the popularity goes, that's where it becomes an esport. And now we have games like Fortnite and survival games that are popping out of the woodworks, battle royales, whatever you want to call them. I don't know, guys. You just gotta give me your thoughts on what you think about all this esport development. As time goes on and younger generations get into the technological fields and eras and computers advance, we're going to see a whole heck of a lot more backing, support, growth in the esport market. I mean, it's just going to take over everything. You've already got Coca-Cola and Monster Energy and whatever drinks you're drinking with game codes and esports support and root for your favorite team, etc., etc. It's just, it's the way of the world now. This cantaloupe is absolutely delicious, guys. So juicy, so cantaloupe-y. But I do think for younger generations and the people going into esports, I do feel like there's a lot of, I want to say almost abuse that can take place as people are kind of used up, churned in, spit out of the esports world and not left with much to show for it. Because at the end of the day, you can only have 1, 2, 3 teams at the top of any major event, and then the rest of the teams are just sent packing and all those kids' dreams are crushed. But not only their dreams, their careers, their monetary life, their personal lives, because they've spent it training for X amount of years, not really developing work skills, just kind of drifting by, hoping they get that one chance, that one shot. And that's probably the worst thing about most esports, is that unless a team is compensated very well just for being a team, a lot of the younger kids and the younger recruits are going to be, I don't know, kind of left on the wayside. And a lot of kids of the newer generations, of course, they will find like, I want to say almost a solace in training for that one shot, that one chance at the spotlight. But hundreds upon hundreds, maybe thousands upon thousands of kids will, again, lose chances in their lifetime just to try to make an attempt at an esport. Does that happen with normal sports? Yeah, of course. Of course it does. But also you gotta think, like, as the prize pools grow and grow and grow, perhaps there's got to be some regulations to ensure that all participants, all aspirants to esports are not taken advantage of. But I digress. I think it'll be very, very interesting to see, even 20 years from now, how esports have evolved and basically taken over the internet. If you think about it, esports vary, or games in general, vary from normal real-world sports in the fact that they're not completely monopolized yet. And a lot of the world can get on the same hype level, the same interest as, I want to say, equally across the board for countries that don't speak the same language, that don't have the same cultures. Everyone can be a part of esports, and it can just grow so quickly, so fast, compared to normal sports where a good example is most other countries other than America play soccer or football, whereas America plays football. Some countries play rugby. Some countries play, I don't know, badminton, hockey, etc., etc. But games are games, and everyone across the world can come together on that common ground. It's going to be cool. It's going to be interesting. But at the same time, a dangerous and tricky mess of a organization, I want to say. Guys, this Cantalope was amazing. Tell me what you think about esports in general, just any random thoughts that come to your mind. Remember to game, eat, and discuss, and I will catch you in the next one.